Before we get started, let's make some initial settings to make sure that object snaps and tracking as well as dynamic input are all turned on. First, let's draw a rectangle and arc. Snap the start point of the arc to the rectangle and pick the geometric center as the center of the arc. You will notice that I draw the arc a little bit longer, so I will start trim command to modify it. Select the set of the rectangle as boundary, press enter, and move my cursor on the object I want to trim. You can see this part become gray. Click on it to trim. Start again trim command. Select boundaries, press enter, then select fence option. Just draw the fence through the objects that I want to trim, and press enter twice to end the command. To trim multiple objects, we are going to start the trim command and input select all in the drawing as part of the trim boundaries, and press enter. GStarCAD will use all objects in calculating trim boundaries. Select and clean up these unwanted lines conveniently. The opposite of the trim command is extend. You can shift to extend when you already started trim command. Select the boundary, press enter, then press shift and select objects you want to extend. The dashed line will preview the result. Press enter to end the command. This time click the extend command in ribbon. Set the boundary, then select the edge mode and choose extend option. Now we can extend the line to the selected edge. The opposite of the extend command is trim. When you already started extend command, you can shift select to trim objects. In this part, we will introduce the offset command for offsetting geometry in the drawing. Click the offset command, select erase option and set to no. Select layer option and set to source to apply source layer on selected object for offsetting. Then enter distance or select a through point. I will use distance first, enter a distance value directly in dynamic input box. Press enter, select the object, click on one set to offset. After offsetting, you can continue to offset objects, or you can select exit option to end the command. This time choose through point. Specify a point in the drawing to create an object through that point. Press enter to end the command. Start again offset command. Select layer option and set to current. Select through option and specify a point in the drawing. You will notice that this time the color of the offsetting object is same as current layer. Now let's take a look at stretch command in GStarCAD. Select the stretch command in ribbon. Select the geometry to be stretched. Right-click and then select a base point. Move the cursor to specify the end point. You will notice that the geometry stretches in the direction of the line defined by the base point and the end point. Select the chair object. You can also stretch the object by clicking and moving stretch grips. When you are editing and creating objects, sometimes you will run into situations where objects need to be broken in. So this part we will talk about break commands. There are three ways breaking objects in GStarCAD. First, let's try breaking objects by intersecting lines. Click the command. This tool provides full breaking mode with gap distance. Set the value to 0 and select the top mode. You will notice the lines now are not broken at intersecting point. Windows select the intersecting objects which need to be broken and press enter. You can see the lines now are broken at intersecting point. Click again Break Objects command. Set the value to 40 and select the second mode. Pick intersecting lines and right-click. You will notice the object selected under the first set will be broken. Meanwhile, the object selected under the second set will not be broken. Or select the third mode. Pick intersecting lines and right-click. You can say all intersecting objects that touch at first instance selected object are broken. Or select the bottom mode. Pick intersecting lines and right-click. You can say that this option breaks the first instance selected object with all intersecting objects to it. Then let's try breaking the selected object between 2 points. Draw a circle here, then click Break command. Select the object and specify the first breakpoint by one-clicking, and specify the second breakpoint. Finally, let's try breaking the selected object at one single point. Click Break at Point command. Select the arc and specify the breakpoint. You will notice the arc now is broken into 2 parts. The opposite of the break command is join command. You can select the command in the ribbon Modify panel or just tap Join in Drawing area. And then select the source objects. Press Enter. You can see 2 lines drawn together now. If you want to modify the size of objects, the Scale and Length command will be very helpful. Click Scale command. Windows select the chair object and right-click. Specify a base point and type a scale value. Press Enter. Click again the Scale command. Windows select the table object and right-click. Specify a base point and select Reference option. Specify the length. Now you can scale the objects by moving the cursor to specify the endpoint, or just input a value. There is another command for modifying the length of the objects. Click Length command in ribbon Modify panel. Select Delta option to change the length of objects by specific delta. The value of delta is measured from the nearest endpoint of selected objects. Users could also use this way to modify the angle of arc. Select Percent option, set the value to 50%, and select the object. You will notice the total length of the object become half. After creating the objects, we need to modify their rotation and position. So in this part, we will talk about Move, Rotate, and Copy command in RegisterCAD. Click the Copy command in the ribbon. Windows select the chair objects and right-click. Pick Multiple option. Specify the base point. Then you can move the chair by specifying endpoints. Press Escape to end the command. Or you can input a distance value and copy. Click the Rotate command in the ribbon. Windows select the chair objects and right-click. Specify a base point. Then input 90 degrees and press Enter. Or you can just rotate by moving the cursor according to the polar tracking. Now click Move command. Windows select the chair object and right-click. Specify a base point. Move the cursor to the proper position and click.